Greetings, Loveland. I'm Harper Arian, and welcome to your Thursday video announcements for February 4th.
You're caught in the wire. Will I lift
Please rise and remove your hats for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. NHS will be making Valentines on February 9th, beginning right after school. NHS will be delivering the Valentines on February 10th to Lakeview Commons. Meet in Morrison's room after school. This is a wonderful event that brings cheer to many elderly people each and every year. A reminder for students who took the PSAT in the fall, your score reports are now available. Please stop by the counseling office to pick up your scores. And that's all for your announcements this morning. Reporters Jared French and Stephen Reichert went out in the search if media violence affects real-world violence.
When it comes to the company behind some of the most mature titles, he is hardly coy.
I'm out to shut down Rockstar because they're run by a bunch of sociopaths, and they're a one-company crime wave.
Violence in the media, part 1. Video games and movies.
Violence. Okay. So do I think media is the sole cause of violence? I do not. I think that kids, young kids in particular, can mimic what they see by, playing violent video games or watching a violent movie, but I do not think that those type of things cause a person to become violent. I think there are other things that are added into that mix that leads somebody to becoming violent. So no, I do not think media causes somebody to become a violent person.
How then do you account for the statistics that as the popularity of video games have gone up, violent crime has gone down?
It's not true.
According to the FBI, kids, teenagers arrested for violent crimes fell by half between 94 and 2000.
Games have a...
That's a really good question. I don't think I have the answer to that. Our country is a violent country. And, the question is, have we become more violent, or do we just hear about more violence through the media? So, and I don't know the specific statistics on that, but part of me believes that we just hear about it more often because we have that avenue now where we can hear about what has happened very, very quickly, whereas 20 years ago, you didn't hear about these things happening, but were they still occurring? I don't know how to change a violent culture. I don't have an answer to that.
He randomized 103 young adults to play no video game, a non-violent video game, a violent video game where they played the good guy, and a violent video game where they played the bad guy. Then they all had to do a frustration task. In other words, they had to engage in some activity which would make it more likely that they would get frustrated and perhaps aggressive. And his study showed no link between playing the games and aggression. But those kids who had a history of playing violent video games in real life had fewer hostile feelings and decreased depression during...
As far as violence is concerned and teenagers through social media, I would say, first of all, we've become probably more desensitized to violence because more things are probably posted that are violent. And so I don't think seeing something violent bothers us as much because we're so used to seeing it. I think that it's an avenue for some people perhaps to be more vocal and have a public hear them about their opinions on violence. I do think that there have been some instances or examples where people have done something violent, thinking about doing something violent, and they post it on social media and they have gotten stopped, it's been prevented, or they've gotten caught. So I think in that sense, it's not bad. So, like I said earlier, I don't think media causes violence. I think there are a lot of different things that probably cause violence. The environment, experiences, trauma, family, genetics. I don't think there's one answer to why a person becomes a violent person.
And as for the argument of violent movies or making people more violent, violence in movies has always existed. From Cowboys to Indians to Kill Bill, violence is part of our culture. In order to stop violent behavior from occurring in the future, we need to look to the past. We need to learn from what has already happened and the mistakes that have already been made in order for a better future.
Next week, they will be looking at the impact of social media. The Super Bowl is coming up this weekend. Let's see what people have to say about it.
I'd say it'd have to be the commercials, seeing like the Doritos commercials and everything like that.
To the commercials. I don't know, hanging out with friends, eating some popcorn, and just seeing who wins it all.
The halftime show.
Commercials. I like the commercials. That was hard. Let's see, I guess, basically, nationwide is on your side.
Papa John's. Chicken pie, they so good.
Papa John's.
I cannot throw the ball. Look at that.
Gonna have to say the Broncos. I mean, it's gonna be hard, going against Cam. Peyton Manning all the way. Broncos.
I'd say the Panthers. Sorry, Broncos. I think the Panthers. The Panthers are gonna kill it.
I think the Broncos will win. Hopefully, Peyton Manning doesn't choke again.
Panthers.
I think the Panthers have the best advantage because they're still pretty young.
27 Broncos. Keep it about 23 Carolina.
1738. To be honest, I think it's going to be like 36 to like 25.
21-28.
28-14.
I'm gonna say maybe like 21 Panthers, 14 Broncos.
It's going to be a great matchup. Which week is happening next week? Let's take a peek at what teachers and students would ask for their one wish.
I'm Skylar Boyce.
And I'm Harper Arian.
Many of you don't know what Wish Week is.
Wish Week is where Loveland High School sponsors a child in need for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This week, we took a look around Loveland High School to see what students would ask for if they had one wish.
If you had a terminal illness and Make-A-Wish Foundation could provide you with one wish, what would it be?
To take me to Disneyland because I've never been.
I'd go to some desolate island somewhere with my wife, and I'll bring both of my kids too, I guess. But somewhere like that, really tropical, really nice, for maybe as long as they can afford.
I would probably go to Greece and ride horses on the beach there and find myself a handsome prince.
One wish is that I would have is that I would be able to see as many places as I possibly could, I suppose. Just traveling, see the things I haven't seen yet.
To fly on a plane and go to Mexico and come back.
What would you want to do in Mexico?
See my dad.
Actually, it sounds like I love going to Disneyland. I do. The one in California, I would do that.
Okay.
Be able to see G-Eazy.
Regardless of your wish, Loveland High is hosting Wish Week next week. Monday is Monochrome Day, so dress up all in one color. Also, after school is Monday Night Madness. Tuesday will be 50s Day, so wear your vintage apparel. There will be a basketball game at 6:30 sharp. Wednesday is Sports Day, so rep your team or sport. There's a home unified basketball game after school. Thursday is Crazy Hair Day, so let's see all you wackos. Ending the day with the one and only Peach Fuzz. Boys, gather your teams. Top it off, Friday is Red and Black Day. Show your school spirit. To end the week, we have another basketball game Friday. Let's fill those stands. What would you wish for? And that's a wrap for our Thursday announcements for February 4th. I'm Harper Arian, and don't forget, you are never fully dressed without a smile.